Pretty sensitive, the microphones here. Well, buckle up, rough roads ahead. Here we go again. I think one of my broadcasts somehow disappeared, and I'm testing also the volume because on my web app I have a slider to limit the volume. It's obviously too loud right now. If I look at the other meter, but the one that I can see her now, if I had the video on, I don't know if I would see that meter or not. I might see actually myself, right, if I had the camera on. So it shows that it's really loud, but then I put the limiter on the slider, which is another meter that does volume, and it shows a limited volume. So we'll see where it is. And I'm just on my open phone, so I'm kind of testing this right now to see where this all is. Well, pray for my former neighbor in Santa Fe. She's they call that traveling mercies when they're out there on the road. She's on a bus, and the bus was late into Texarkana, so she got stuck in Dallas because she missed her connection. So she's kind of chilling there. I don't know. She goes. I guess she's in the homeless mode. She's found some nice place to sleep for an hour or two outside she says they don't let you lay down inside the bus terminal. So at least that's what she said. Maybe she found something inside, but it sounded like she went hunting for a homeless person place to sleep. She's totally changed back into the homeless person. When you talk to them, it's like, oh no, I'm okay. I will do this. Well, most people don't do that. Because I try to help her a little bit more. And so, no, that's okay. I do this. I'll do that. But it's all like homelessness or urban camping, I guess we used to call it. Urban camper technology. Now, one thing to understand, the case against the mayor of New York is probably real, but they don't always prosecute those. They can go either way, say yay or nay. Now, it may get bigger and maybe other things. But what you have to understand, Trump, the funny part is Trump always brings up Al Capone. Right. Al Capone committed numerous racketeering offenses, numerous organized crime offenses. But they took him down on tax evasion. Same thing that they're doing to Donald Trump. They're finding a case that they can take him down on more simply because of that code of silence, that RICO insulation, that kind of thing. I'm not telling you the mayor of New York's doing that, but that is a sign that they're, because when they weigh the case, they say, well, he's a mayor, he's doing great work. What should we do? Because they don't even have to indict him. They can just say that, that he needs to step down. And they may have asked him to do that. I don't know. Or bring it to an ethics board. But what it usually means is there's something else going on. So I don't know. The inference is that NYPD is still dirty. And I guess, of course, that one guy came up dirty. But again, it's the money-making part's only part of it. It usually involves oppression somewhere and a kind of at least a psychological strong-arming. There's only so many ways they can protect the people. And those cases aren't so sure, aren't so open, because the system that was built will protect the officer because the officer's simply investigating. But again, it's a fraudulent, fabricated investigation. So that system protects the officer engaged in racketeering, organized crime, RICO, etc. The investigative system, even the lead system, was manipulated because that's the key. Get the person to leave the city or the state, put a lead forward, and just give them the information, kind of like, oh, this guy's this guy's that, do this to the guy, do that. Yet if you go back through the investigation in that city, there's all sorts of problems with it, including fabricated statements, narcotics users making statements. And of course, you have to use narcotics users at times, but this is, an obvious, quid quo pro narcotics user thing. The narcotics dealer gives them something, or even a dirty cop, and they make a statement. So even the lead system is corrupt. That's why I call them. I just forwarded an organized crime contract, and it's easier when you go to the next police department. Well, we don't know. Somebody just told us. Bah, bah, bah. Somebody just told us. They said it's a G. Bah, bah, bah. I mean, if they were that stupid, they wouldn't be in the police department. Again, we call that willful ignorance. So when they look at certain people, certain organizations, they say, well, what is that organization really doing? Corruption. Call it corruption. If you patrol corruptly, then you're corrupt. It doesn't mean you have to take $1 for anything. That's why people are calling cops Nazis. They actually are Stalinists, many of them. What Stalin was about equality? Come on. That big Russia communism thing that Trump used is false. Trump's a Soviet. He's a Stalinist. Iron-fisted rule. Plutocratic Communist Party. That's not what the young people are speaking about when they speak about socialism. But that's what Donald Trump is speaking about when he speaks about Project 2025. Creating the Soviet Union here. Project 2025 is the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. They weren't Marxists. They were plutocratic in some ways. Well, they're plutocratic state capitalists. Again, Trump's a plutocratic state capitalist. Take all the tax money, give it to the rich, the plutocrats. Now, the rich have nothing to complain about, especially the business owners, on their Biden, because the infrastructure actually takes care of them, the majority of it. They're on their trucks. Their trucks are, their deliveries, their trucks are over the road all day. People traveling to their store, over the road all day. Roads and bridges and all those type of things are used by big business. That's why they pay taxes. If you look at how many miles, now could be different, but on an average, a wealthy person is going to travel over our roads more so than a non-wealthy person. Gas doesn't mean nothing to them. Fill it up or plug it in. They don't care. They don't have to make decisions of not to spend money, so most likely they're going to be out there much more. They're going to fly in those airplanes much more. Municipal airports, so on and so forth. So again, nobody's ripping off the wealthy people. Not at all. I mean, how many billions did Elon make off of government subsidy? Nobody's ripping him off. Nobody's ripped him off. What he did is he fought the people that he used to be part of. That's really what's happening. So those are the people that made him money, but of course now they don't want to make him money. But he's no different. He's not out there trying to embrace a Palestinian lawmaker or a Latina lawmaker in New York to move forward and have a better world for all of us. He's not going to give them anything. He's going to give it to Trump. Is Trump going to give him money when he gets in there? So again, rich people are well taken care of in this country. Probably too much. And that's usually through the bribe system. Bribery is generally not prosecuted as much as it should be. And again, it's one of those cases that's difficult to make. A lot of people, hide it with armies of people. And Elon's only one of them. Okay, he's not the only one. What has Elon done right? I don't think anything in the last 5 years. If I'd have been in Elon's life, I would have, if he would have asked me, I would have said, "Did you try male hormones on your son? Maybe some anti-estrogens." Probably yes, anti-estrogens. Could have just been estrogen. But again, the question is, how many years of young development with an overage of estrogen could cause a lifelong disability as far as gender dysphoria? I'm psychic, so I can connect to a trans person, and I know what they're feeling. Kind of scary, but boobs in a second. Although I got to lose weight, so my boobs shrink. But yeah, I connect to them. I talk to them. A lot of them want to marry me. But again, that's an inner self. I don't know if they know, what they're doing. Well, because they enjoy nice people saying nice things. To an everyday person, I'm a nice person. But you all are not everyday people. You're devils, demons, antichrists, witches, and sorcerers. And worse. Just offered to rinse my neighbor's car off in the morning. We have to do it here. The oak trees are horrible. Once the oak trees shed the leaves, I won't have to wash the vehicles. I just rinse them real quick. So I rinsed my one neighbor's vehicle off. I asked the other neighbor, he's like, "Nah, that's okay. That's okay." Personal space, I guess. So yeah, she's stuck there. And what's nice about now, Graham pissed me off before when she missed her bus because she was on the wrong bus, which I think she asked the driver and everything, and she got on the wrong bus. They wouldn't. Yeah, of course, they were involved. The deep state was involved, and their private sector criminal cronies. So there's no way to get any consideration. You can be right as the day is long, and they'll still screw you at that point. Again, it's Soviet Union, Stalinists. But this time, when she missed her connecting flight and connecting bus, and they were wrong for being late, but whatever it is, they automatically send you an updated itinerary with your new bus, so you don't even have to do anything before you get to your new to the stop that you missed your connection. You already have a connection. It's a few hours later, but it's actually better for her because she was going to be getting into Albuquerque late at night, and the rail runner doesn't start till the morning. So she was going to have to be a homeless woman for quite a while until she at least 10 hours or something like that, so she could hop or maybe a little earlier, a rail runner. Theoretically, she's going to go into the ACT program, and all she has to do is see a doctor and stay on her medication, and they'll give her housing. Now, I believe the organization is putting her on the ACT program because she, I couldn't control her last time. Again, for them, it's the medication. For her, it's her being harassed. I told her it was. I could see it. It was like I was reading it, and there was a point like she shouldn't be even in that program. Our kids and our family members should be in that program. So again, the outsider type thing. But again, narcotics distributors. She's a witness of crimes. Again, cops are also dirty, so who knows how far it goes. So she's going to get in the ACT program, and she's, if I remember, she was on her medicine. It still got messed up. So it's again, there, a person shouldn't, like, for the cops and their cronies that do it, well, they deserve it. They shouldn't have messed up and we wouldn't be doing this. You know, that's in their mind. But no citizen should have to prove that they're innocent all day long just because cops are dirty. And that's what's going on in this nation. Well, over all those years, they developed this corrupt system of racketeering into some sort of investigative process. So now it's magically legal. But you'll magically go to hell. I mean, that's real. Remember, this planet's justice is different than God's justice. I'm gonna walk off from my neighbor so he doesn't think I'm talking to him. He's kind of a shaky Jake. I was practicing this. I practice my oration before I actually broadcast. Sometimes I don't if I don't get the right feel from it. Yeah, I'm not confused. It's extortion. And no, see, people are like, even people that are extortionists go, well, if you do what we say, but there is no do what you say. In the old days, they would just hire another extortionist. They'll probably just pay you a bonus to tell you, well, the boss said to take him out anyway. So they make a story. If he just shut up, if he just do this, if he just do that. And 35 years later, it's if he just do this, after he did what they wanted 50 times. It's just it's really telling you. They're lying, every last one of them. I'll get married, be a preacher. That was it. I lost the internet connection for a second, so I'll back this up because I'm on Wi-Fi and I shouldn't be. There it is. Okay, so I was on Wi-Fi and I walked away a little bit to get away from my neighbor, so I wouldn't think I'm talking to him. So when I left the government, the truth is that I wanted to be a preacher. And all I had to do, God didn't instruct me at this point. I just had the intuition: go to church, find a woman, get remarried, and then you'll be a preacher, and most likely an evangelist. And then see how it works. Then I travel as an evangelist and I heal the world as an evangelist. That sounds familiar. Become an evangelist and travel the world and heal it while you're an evangelist or evangelize. I have the capability to heal the world. You all squandered it. And squandered it. God says it's my whole life. I was going to say 20 years. God said your whole life. You're a machine. You're a one-man machine from God. Could have done anything. But they chose this life. This is what they call loser life. Man with so many crowns, a loser. Church will say it all day long, too. I got more crowns already before I leave the planet than anybody I think that's on the planet could ever think that they could have. So again, a lot of willful ignorance going on there in these wars. No, we thought Russia would actually talk to us once we invaded Russia. Let's say it like what really would happen. We thought Putin would speak to us more readily if we invaded Russia. What does that tell you? They scuttled the talks. Netanyahu, well, if we kill all these children and these widows and these older women, and we invade Lebanon, there'll probably be a ceasefire agreement. So you see, as Biden moved for the ceasefire agreement, what happened? Israel amped it up. Well, Hashem does not authorize war without legitimacy. That's obvious they're doing that. But if you treat people a certain way, they're going to treat you that way back. Are they innocent? No. But right now, if you're the entity not allowing the peace, then it's on you. This all could have been averted if you just would have let Olmert do what he wanted to do. I know for a fact the rich Jews didn't want the agreement, even if it wasn't two-state solution, because we weren't even completely there yet. But we had a solution. Hamas got in there. I think Mossad put Hamas in. I mean, come on, let's be real. Or some private entity. Some private Jewish entity said, well, we got to mess it up. We'll put Hamas in. Screw up Fatah. Now, I moved into that late in the game. If I could have been on it a couple of years earlier, I may have been able to focus better. But I was like out of everything at that point. That shows you I was just out of everything. I was going to move on in my life. First, it was the church, and then God said, well, let's try over here in yoga, the Sikhism. Sikhs came up dirty in 2005, winter solstice. Look, you're the people that were under indictment, not me. Don't know what you're looking at. So again, they were in each place, tearing down, destroying, extorting, bribing. So again, they don't have to get you on a case attacking me to get you. No, it's not the same thing you're all doing. I'm simply trying to live my life and help law enforcement along the way at this point. That would have never probably happened ever again. I probably never would have helped law enforcement again if you would have not blocked my way into the church and my way into yoga and my way into Hare Krishna and my way into the Sikhs. Never would have been speaking about politically or anything like that. Well, I'm going to try with Chase one more time. See if Mr. Demon, their boss. Damon. The name is Damon. Right. I've already probably received the right instruction, but I got to see if it plays out. Well, because he doesn't control everybody in the. He should. He should have a metaphysic that ensures everything goes right. But he doesn't control everybody in the branches and in the bank. So if somebody's going to get paid, $10,000 to nix my account, and they're using crack cocaine, they'll probably do it or whatever, or fentanyl today. But okay, yeah, down in where was she telling me? Was it Santa Fe? Yeah, I don't know where location, but she's been places where they're just smoking fentanyl openly. So again, she felt Texarkana was just a bunch of perverted pedophiles, and she said you can't talk about it. So again, look in your shelters, make sure things are going well, make sure nobody's abusing the girls there, and in some cases the men and boys, I guess, and girls. So yeah. Well, she inferred that that's what she saw, that's what she felt, and you can't say anything. It may have been like an inside from another resident. So that's what's that guy's name? Bowie County Sheriff or something like that. I don't remember what the county is. Yeah, I was supposed to get there on myself and figure it out. I got blocked. So you see, the Lord probably has the whole United States, the whole world actually divvied up between all the angels that are down here. So she's good for that, and that's why they don't like her. She's been in Santa Fe. Santa Fe came up as smoking fentanyl. She said she got sick of where she was living, where there was people were using drugs, and she don't like inhaling it. So go look at those low income housing, subsidized housing developments in Santa Fe. See if they're using open. Because again, some people still think, cops still think that they're smoking marijuana if they care. I mean, I don't know each cop, but apparently they're smoking fentanyl out in the open. So, like a secondhand contact buzz, but it's fentanyl. So she's like trying to dodge the fentanyl smoke. But she was harassed, there's no doubt. So that's something, when it comes up, let's say in Texarkana, we want to probably just send, little reminders down through the chain of, like official abuse, or not, what do you call that? I don't know if it's official abuse. That would be, I guess something like official position, sex imposition, sex abuse, rape, I guess. Right. And we're looking at shelters. Again, so the shelters in Texas, we're experiencing some of that. We're in question, Border Patrol, or how you doing? That's fine. You want to give it here, I can take it, but you can run it up there if you want. Hey, Lawrence Moore.
Yes, sir. Just need you to just scribble real quick. All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Got my molding for the tow arc. Hey, look, a 0084 on it. What kind of tag is that? I don't know. I guess it's a FedEx tag. Well, they'll say, well, that's the year you joined the Army. Why doesn't it make you happy? Because you tortured me with that number. Like I told you years ago, there's people you see go off on the street and kill someone. That's what they did. But they won't say it because in other words, they're caught. Now, if they say it, they'll like drug them up and put them in a crazy house. What they've been trying to do to me for telling everybody what they're actually doing. I call it the Schoolcraft, the Adrian Schoolcraft. Trying to do an Adrian Schoolcraft on everybody. So yeah, she's going to go into that ACT program. So she's going to see a doctor. She sounds fine now. So I think I think it's something else. Again, she has allergies. I guess that's what helps with the medicine. She has to stay on her medication. Again, people are cursed because it happens to me. It probably happens to you. You got to take your allergy medicine or whatever, but it gets worse. the further you go down in life, the worse it becomes. The harder it is to take allergy medication, or in her case, some psychological medication. I don't believe that she really needs it, but she has to be in a stable life, and people can't be deep stating her all day. It's even on the phone. She doesn't even know. Because I see, because I know where they send her. And again, Satan, I've always said, and I still say, a certain percentage of it is Satan, and that's where they got it from. And then they made it physical and called it law enforcement and spycraft and, of course, extortion, racketeering, organized crime. So, there is a metaphysical gang stalking, but the gang stalking videos and all that is to make light of what's actually happening and confuse it. Because you're not being gang stalked, you're being extorted, you're being psychologically murdered. It's much different. Gang stalk is theoretically people just following you. This has a pinnacle of organized crime, racketeering, narcotics distribution, sex trafficking, official corruption, etc. Yes, right. So yeah, something just came into mind. So the cartels and all the criminal organizations and criminal people have a social media arm. It's like the same thing as law enforcement. Again, sometimes it is law enforcement and spycraft or spies, corruptly operating for a racketeering boss somewhere. Even a shadow boss that might contact them online and give them stock tips. And it tells them who to go after. So remember that the algorithms have still shown some manipulation. Now, I can't tell you whether it's X or external. Or again, it could be Satan. But, it's not looking like Satan. Oh, so he's going to pull out now. I wonder if he got a delivery call. Check the black flex. See if he got some sort of delivery call or something. But he did go the other way. But I did see him because I happened to be standing over there. That could be happenstance. But see if there's somebody moving him. I just said that, to stalkers. So it took them about 5 minutes to get out the door, I guess. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So all those organizations now have a structure similar to law enforcement. In some cases, it is law enforcement. So all those criminal organizations, again, the idea that you're saving children's bullshit. The Go Beach case or saving women, sex crime investigation is fallen. The Go Beach case unveiled everything that I needed to see. The Ghost organization, the Ghost Secret Society in Santa Fe revealed everything I needed to see. But you see, they win in their own mind because the whole time I stayed in Santa Fe, they were able to pull that off. So my whole time in Santa Fe was ruined. And then they, contact the next department or spy entity or private sector investigator, whatever it is, and start it all over again. Well, if you listen to me, I never point the finger at you. I said it's either like with the kid in the van. At a certain point, it's you, all of you, when you attack. No, you're not just doing your job. That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard, that you're just doing your job. But when I begin, I tell you, I don't know. The cop could have been operated. The victim was definitely operated. That could be all online. Again, it's not by accident that the young people are having psychological disorders. There are things online taking them through a series of things that disturb the mind. Right? And it's like a spycraft computer. So they're selecting at a young age who's going to succeed and who's going to fail. And it may be based upon who they believe is going to become a criminal, and then it will succeed them. And if they believe you're too nice, again, we see a lot of people that have great intentions and are very loving in reality, but boy, do they bring hell on the world around them when it doesn't go a certain way. That's coming from what I tell you it's come from. And now, again, it's not new technology because before they would use it, they need more pantomimes and actors. They use pantomimes a lot of times. And again, there is a metaphysical, so they are projecting something into the minds of their victims. And it's groupthink and a group projection. And if they're FBI agents or local police or, the constable or the preacher or, a mom, a priest, whatever it is, they have a higher level of projection on this planet. So again, this is Satan's planet. So when they tell you they're succeeding here, you say, there you go. It's Satan's planet. You're Satan's favorite. You got more than we. No, God gave me this. Well, of course, you call Satan God. It's in the scripture if you know how to read it. Or if you care to read it, actually, at this point. So what happens with her is that she has these, my friend, she sees the AI like Jay-Z and Diddy videos and she thinks they're real. But she's more receptive now. That's like I'm saying. She doesn't seem to have any problem. As far as I know, she's not on any medicine. And that's weird because I just thought of something. I just saw a bird soar too by. So this is probably true. Because she's going to get back into a housing situation to stay on medicine. Now all of a sudden she doesn't need it. So that just shows you that something's going on. They're probably telling her, no, you don't need the medicine. In reality, what they do, some of that medicine will make you more susceptible to what they want. And what they want is a person to act out in violence, self-harm, that kind of thing. That's weird. She seems fine to me. She's doing much better. Now, it could be some certain type of allergen that does it to her. It could be surreptitious drugging. She's homeless, so she'll take anything anybody gives her. They'll give her a hamburger with a bunch of drugs in it, and she's not going to figure it out. Who knows how long it stays resident in your body? These are spies or people with spy knowledge. So again, the cartels and all of them have developed an anti-network. They're out there investigating. They're out there in your social media saying they're investigating, and they're out there doing shit to you. That's why I'm interested to see where the last case went to. The bomber guy. Right. I want to find out that because right, the methods and the means and, the idea that somebody acts out, it's just, there's more to the story, I think, than simply getting back at the system. And he's a young guy. It's horrible. Somebody should have took him aside and said, look, this too shall pass. Again, if I was out there and maybe I speak to him on the street, I could help him understand that. But y'all killed me because you don't want people to understand that. You want them to understand that they should be angry at something. Well, the way to be angry is just to yell at the sky. There's nothing wrong with that. See Republicans, oh, look at them yelling at the sky. What are they, weirdos? No, it's better than doing what your people do. They grab a firearm and they harm others. Or in this case, an IED. But it did come up recently that if we did get rid of the firearms, again, I'm not telling you not to regulate firearms because of what's going on, but it's only a Band-Aid. Because then they build IEDs. And then you got to dodge the IED. So again, it's what I'm speaking about. The problem is what I'm speaking about. Again, Harris is addressing that, but she has to be honest and follow through. Don't let them overwhelm you with BS. But I like to see, who he is, and I'm not going to see everything, but that's putting me out. That's what they did because you're going to have me travel and look at the cases. They didn't put me out. I left, but they made it impossible to stay. And I guess some of the inference was that I called internal on people. They would just say whatever, man. Same shit. Same assholes. Same assholes that are here. Just saying shit. But yet it's at a level of psychological operation in the community to destroy the person. Thank you. So here's it goes. Okay, so that at the M with the parentheses Z, or is it the other way around? Yeah, yeah. It spells me or M-E. That could be Satan, that part. But it might not be, because if you go back, if I went back to the date on it, I think it may have been too far back. Was that 95? I can't remember when that, what do they call that? It's when you wipe a disk, it's one of those protocols. So it could be Satan. It could be, maybe somebody was trying to take her out back then. Again, I think it was too far back. I think it was 95. So it has to be Satan, I guess. But again, it fits, right? Somebody's wiping their disc. Well, we don't want people to commit crimes, but we don't want our person out there saying, I'm the reason you need to be afraid or something like that. Again, from what I can tell, the operations online are fear-based, panic attack-based. That's what they're trying to cause in their victims. So that you'll find that they heavily go after veterans because they can just excuse it as war. I mean, just sickos, man. I mean, they're going to put somebody in the chute, but they want to have a good cover story. Well, because they've made millions off of me since they put me in the chute. I mean, more than millions, hundreds of millions. They'll give somebody $1 million contract just to do me. Multi-million-dollar contract. Now, maybe they do other stuff, but their goal is to get me. That means the government paid millions of dollars. Man hours and all those other things. Now, if you're paying them to do something else and they operate me, part of that payment is still the government paying for them to do me. Because the contract's out there. Where are we at? Not an hour yet. So let's see where Chase is with this. I think they want to put it, like, again, the Chase system is a living thing. And I believe it wants to put what they did to me last time behind them. Everything organic exists, but there's a metaphysical behind it. And that includes, over an extended period of time, routing somebody's life into failure and unhealthy conditions. And I knew if I could get forward within a relatively decent period of time, I would be okay. That's why I never said much, but I said enough. And I also even said later this would be different. And no, it's not me, my lonesome in my mind. It's obvious that I'm with God. Now, a lot of people don't want to believe that because the God in their head say, kill every man, woman, and child in the Gaza. Well, again, the idea is, do you give up your forever just so you can take care of an issue today that you believe is too big to do without killing men, women, and children that are innocent? I'll tell you that's why it exists. And Hashem will show you that in hell. Because your minds are unsettled, you're causing that by projecting it. And then also physically mistreating those people. Now, don't be paranoid, but when you're out there in the world and you get this thought, well, you've been outside for an hour and you want to go inside, or you've been, walking down the street and you get an idea, well, I'm going to turn around at a certain point. Did somebody pass you when you had that thought? Because when they're trying to set you up, go, look, that dude walked past and now he's going inside. That woman walked past, now he's going inside. That woman passed him on the trail and look, he turned around. Remember, they're projecting. So you're going to get that thought. They may even have direct energy that can do it. So that's how they're railroading people. They all sit there. Okay, he turns around now. Because it could be somebody that looked like a victim in another crime that you have no clue about. So again, devils, demons, antichrist, witches, and sorcerers have taken over investigations. And that's one of the problems. But the system previously would work them out. Not completely, but they would, be overpowered by those that believed in real investigation. It's not winning. I mean, you're putting yourselves into bigger hells. When you leave the body, you'll have to spend an additional time in hell, and you'll have to have worse things happen to you. That's not winning. In fact, there's no winning on this planet. Although you could be a soul winner. Oh, it's very sick what they do. Every time you contact a woman, they game you, stress you out. For all intents and purposes, I shouldn't even be helping that woman. But I do because I'm real. I'm a cop. If I see something, I say something. Instead of making up some bullshit and then saying it. But again, remember, they don't have to arrest you for doing something to me, but they might get you with something else. Stay peaceful.